Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Gage. I own a real estate media company for about 2 years now here in Salt Lake. And it's basically just a one-stop shop for anything to help market real estate agents and their properties.
So you've got a lot of experience in taking photos of houses and making them look good.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of houses just in these past 2 years that are pretty much all over northern central Utah.
Let me ask this, man. What did you notice? What made you start to go, hey, this is a really a viable business model? Like, what was it that made you think, hey, I'm going to jump into servicing real estate agents in this way?
Yeah, so I always had a passion for like photography and cameras and just anything of that nature. So I used to travel just around the country and take photos. I always had like this love for it. But then when I eventually ended up in Utah, I decided I wanted to make a career out of it. And real estate was one of the markets I hadn't really tapped into yet in terms of like photography and things like that. I really wanted to do architecture growing up. So I just decided, you know what, let's go ahead and just try to take some photos of homes and like nice buildings and just see how that goes. And that's sort of what started the ball rolling for real estate. I met with a couple agents, I tried some of their shoots, and then it just kind of progressed pretty rapidly from there.
That's fun. In my next life, I want to be a photographer.
Well, come on, you can come to some properties with me and we'll shoot them.
Okay, sounds good to me. I do want to say thank you for everything that you do for us. Best work. I mean, the finished product that comes out is always fabulous. And I appreciate all of the time that you take with our clients up front. It's just been fantastic.
Absolutely. I love interacting with people, and being able to see these beautiful homes and meeting a ton of people is why I love doing what I do every day.
Thanks. Okay, Rod, I'll let you take it away.
I'll jump into it. Before we do that, there's a couple of things that I want to say that stand out big time for us, because we've worked with a lot of different photographers. I think the way that you communicate with us and our team and our clients has been phenomenal, like above and beyond what we're used to. So thank you for that.
Of course.
It's a different experience for sure. And, and just the ability to work back and forth with us. Sometimes we're like, hey, we prefer to have this done, and working through it to make sure that we get the best product at the end of the day to be able to showcase the homes in the best way possible has been tremendous. We'll talk about some of your add-ons, but I know Melody prepped a couple of questions that we get a lot. So let me just jump into this. What do you think are the top things that our clients could do to make their houses more Instagrammable, more shareable on the social media channels? What are some things that they could do in preparation to make sure that their home's showing the best light?
Totally. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that homeowners can do to help showcase their home in the best way possible. One thing I do with all of my appointments as well is I have a checklist that they can go through when you schedule a photo shoot to just help sort of declutter things and make sure it's ready for photos. And a few of the things on that list are really just like decluttering, depersonalizing, things like that. People don't really connect with that or see themselves living in this space when it's kind of just full of other people's stuff. Big furniture, things like that work very well. It's just like family photos, wedding photos, just a little funky. So that's definitely one of the first things, is just like depersonalizing a space, making it more neutral ground for everyone to relate to.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
when I'm trying to prep a seller, I always say take down any personal photos and take down any photography that has to do with religion, and to really think about making that space, as if it's similar to walking into a hotel room. Very simple, very like what's the word that I'm looking for, Rod? Very vanilla. Right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anybody can move into that space.
And that's the goal. You want people to walk into these homes and you want majority of the people to be able to visualize themselves living here. And it's much harder when you have a lot of personalized objects in there. People feel like, oh, I'm walking into someone else's home, not what could potentially be my home.
Yeah.
What about things, as we're talking about things they can do, what about things that they shouldn't worry about? Like things that you can cover for, fix, right? Is there anything you would say people spend a lot of time on and maybe they shouldn't?
Totally. Yeah. So there's a lot of small things here and there that people, I feel like, worry a little too much about. And a lot of these things are things that can be done in editing, especially on photography day. People have a lot to worry about, but like small discolorations in the paint on the wall, things like that, things that will be patched before the home sells. Maybe a stain on the carpet, but the carpet's going to get replaced. So it's like they're trying to get it out for the photos, but it doesn't really matter. Things like that don't matter all that much. Fluffing pillows, not the end of the world. Odds are I'm going to come in and readjust the pillows anyways. And then I would say like blinds and shutters, because sometimes I like them open, sometimes I like them shut. It really just depends how the lighting's that day, how the lighting in the room looks. So things like that probably shouldn't worry too much on. I'm going to come in and sort of touch it up to make it perfect. But yeah, so that's what I would say you don't really have to worry too much about.
I think that's what makes you stand out, is that you do take a few minutes before actually shooting to, look at it and stage it basically within reason. You're not going to move furniture in or anything, but
No, absolutely.
you do make a few
Yeah.
minor adjustments, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to
Moving
come with a
garbage can,
truck.
for example. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, garbage cans, things like that. Like I'll adjust them around as needed. But yeah, for the most part, you shouldn't worry too much about them. Really just depersonalizing, getting rid of trash and any clutter, like any areas that you just have a lot of stuff thrown into, just kind of throw them in the closet for a bit. We'll take the photos. We'll call it good.
Yeah, we don't like you to photograph the closets.
Yeah, I don't really do closets.
Yeah.
There has to be like a really nice like walk-in closet with built-ins for me to really need to photograph it. But if it's just like your hall closet, odds are it's not going to get photographed.
Yeah,
No,
I
no one
agree.
wants to see it.
Nobody wants to see your stuff.
No, no, I feel like that becomes a catch-all for like every photo day. They just throw everything in those closets and call it a day. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we won't photograph it.
Right. Okay, so pick out a couple of things that you notice that are very easy for a seller to do that make it better.
Okay, so a couple things that a seller can do to make their property better for photos. Things that help me out a ton are really like when I get there, turning on all the lights. That's a big one. Because if I can come in and all the lights are already on, I already can have a sense of what the lighting's going to look like with this. And then I can mess around with turning them off or natural light. But for most rooms, the lights are on.
Okay.
Things like that. Beds are another one. I feel like a lot of people make the bed, but then you have things sort of peeking out under it. Maybe the pillows are like different colors. So maybe just like trying to match it the best you can and just making it look as presentable as possible. Things like that really help make it go smoother.
It's interesting that you would say the bed, because every time that I'm looking through photos on houses and you have one of a bedroom, you notice when the bed's not made exactly like a bed would be made in a hotel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To
No,
me,
that's something I notice on every house.
every house, right. And so I think that if I were to make a recommendation to any seller, I would say go ahead and go to TJ Maxx and spend a little bit of money on a new cover and make the bed correctly so that it does show in the best light.
Totally. Yeah. A lot of people usually have some spare bedding or something that sort of matches and can work together. But yeah, you can run down to Ross or TJ Maxx and just get something really quick to throw over just a couple matching pillows. You don't need a whole like bedding set, but just a couple things to make it cohesive with the room. Really, really make a difference.
That's why we work well together, as we think.
Yeah, no, I mean, you really realize when you walk into a bedroom, the biggest thing in that bedroom is usually the bed.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that your eye catches. So making that look presentable really draws attention away from everything else around it.
It's interesting because the bed is the biggest thing. Your eye is drawn to it. And so, you really have to step into the room as a buyer to look at the room rather than the furniture, even though
Absolutely.
it's not going with the sale, actually. So that is really interesting that it can take you away like that. What about bathroom towels and counters? Does that bother you too?
Yeah, so usually I try to just take everything off the counter. There's nothing on a bathroom counter that really should be there unless it's decorative and looks nice. If you have like soaps or jars that like match the tile work or things like that, If they match the towel colors, then we'll leave the towels for that too. If the towels already look nice in the location they're in, then usually it's okay. I've done some with everything sort of laid out and it looks nice and cohesive and presentable. And then there's others, I just take everything out of the bathroom and just blank canvas.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really just depends on the bathroom.
Yeah, for open houses, I do the same thing. I'm always putting all of the hand soaps down underneath
Mhm.
the counter. So another recommendation for sellers might be the towels.
Yeah, if you can get, I mean, just some nice towels to match like your tile work or your countertops in the bathroom, things like that, they can look really nice. But if they're like bright yellow and the rest of your bathroom's like black and white, it's going to draw way too much attention to those towels. So it's best not to have them.
Oh, that's a good point to make them match more the walls and the coloring in your tile work.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
That's
yeah, if you have a black and white bathroom, just some nice white towels. You can really never go wrong with white towels, or black for that case in particular.
Mhm.
It'd be just fine because you wouldn't go straight to the towels. It would just sort of blend in with the rest of the bathroom.
Yep. I have two more things that I always recognize in photos when the seller hasn't prepped it completely. And one is the shower curtains and then the actual curtains in the windows as well. Those are really tough for you to stage, aren't they?
Yeah,
To get?
definitely. Some curtains are definitely better hung than others, I would say, with how easy they are to like slide and adjust and make look good in comparison to like the window shape. Definitely a lot of factors. I feel like every home's a little bit different when it comes to curtains. For the most part, we can get them to look nice. We never really have them shut because it just looks too dark. So
Oh,
we
okay.
try to keep them open, try to keep them nice and even to the best we possibly can. It just really depends on the room and the day.
Okay, great. And the shower curtain itself in the bathroom, back to the bathroom. Do you like that open or do you like it closed? What's your preference?
Yeah, so I've actually been going back and forth between a lot of shoots where I have it open on some and it's closed on others.
Okay.
If you have a bathtub that's just full of soaps, loofahs, things like that, and there's not really anything, it's not anything really fancy in the bathroom. Like there's not fancy towel work. It's just like a built-in, like a pre-built
Mhm.
that just goes right in. Usually I'll just keep the shower curtain shut so we don't see it. Most people understand it's just going to be a tub and a shower. But if they put, you could tell they put like work into it. They got a nice towel, they got a nice tub, nice faucet and shower head. Then I definitely like to, at the very least, do like a halfway open type of thing. So they can
Oh,
still see what the shower curtain looks like and like where the placement is in comparison to the side I like to leave open usually has the bathroom faucet head and the shower head, so you can see what those look like as well.
oh, that's a good way to do it.
Talk to me about your opinion as a photographer about vacant properties versus properties with furniture in them. Because I know you have the ability to, after production, go in and virtually stage your room, just like a box brownie, for example.
Yeah.
You've got the ability to do that, and we've had you do that on a couple of properties. Talk to me about your opinion as a photographer of vacant properties versus properties with furniture.
So what I've noticed is most properties that already have furniture in it, usually it's missing some furniture, like they've already started moving or they've already started getting rid of stuff. So sometimes it's kind of late or it's kind of just cluttered with a bunch of furniture that doesn't match all that well. But to be fair, not all of us are designers or stagers, so we don't exactly know what furniture is going to go well with other things. So I love shooting vacant properties personally, just because you have a blank canvas, you can work with anything. And yeah, you do have the ability to add in virtual furniture after. So you can make it look however you want to. You're not stuck with the furniture you got in there. So I love shooting vacant properties. Granted, there are like larger homes and things like that come that get staged, and those are always a joy to shoot too. So I feel like I prefer vacant over the furniture they currently have. And then I prefer to shoot, I'd say staged over vacant. That's sort of like my
Okay.
tier.
Oh, I like it.
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, good. This is always a fun one, man. We can wrap with this, but tell us a nightmare story as a photographer. I don't know if it's
Which
mine with the
one do
snakes.
you
If
wanna
show a
pick?
bit mine with the snakes, that might have been. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I've been very grateful not to have too many nightmare stories. I mean, obviously, I come into some homes and it's a train wreck. And so that, like, there's just stuff everywhere, and then we're there for just like a half hour just cleaning up everything. That those happen quite often. It's not a nightmare story. It's just something that sort of comes with the job.
Hey, we had one of
Um,
those a couple of weeks ago, right? Where
we
you and I
did,
were moving
yeah.
boxes, I think, together.
Oh,
So sorry about
cleaning
that, man.
floors, moving furniture. No, it's no worries. It comes with the job. That's not something that's like a nightmare thing. It's just something I feel like I do quite often. I'd say the closest thing to like a nightmare story that I have, I was shooting drone for this townhome complex in like Mill Creek, and I was shooting video, I was getting photos. I land the drone, and when I fly my drone, I have a full vest on, a high-res vest, and it has my FAA certification in there, and on the back it says that I'm a certified drone pilot. So I land the drone, and I look out of the corner of my eye and I see a woman running up to me down the street. We're in like a neighborhood, and this sits right on like a main street. The whole townhome complex is on a main street, and then behind it, we just have a whole neighborhood. And so when I have the drone in the air, I'm obviously facing at the townhome complex and just flying over houses to keep my distance from the townhome. And this lady, she runs up and she's yelling at me. She's like, "What are you doing? Taking photos of me in my backyard?" And I had no idea this lady was in her backyard or anything. But I guess my drone was over her house, and she was very upset that my drone was over her house. I was pretty high up in the air to try not to disturb the neighbors. And this is like a Wednesday at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm assuming most people are at work too. And she got I later found out that she was sunbathing in her backyard when the drone was over her house. And that's, I believe, why she got upset, because she thought I was taking photos of her sunbathing in her backyard. But she was very angry, and I offered to show her the videos and the photos that I took. And then once she realized that like I wasn't doing anything over near her house, she was able to like relax, and she understood what I was there for. And I feel like we left on good terms. But that was probably like the most nightmare story. Is just yeah, she was very angry when she first came up to me and didn't really know what I was doing. And I even gave her my business card, just showing her that like I do this for work, like this is my job. And
You're
I
not
don't
gonna show up on social media. You're gonna be
No,
Super
yeah.
okay.
funny, super funny. I think I've had that happen 3 or 4 times myself with my drone out and about. Have you had the
Yeah.
pleasure of filming in Daybreak yet?
I have, yeah. So I've only done like a handful in Daybreak. I haven't had any issues in Daybreak yet though.
Apparently have to clear it ahead of time with the HOA.
Really?
Anyways, yeah. We had a police officer show up out there, which was super funny. So
And
anyways, yeah. So we
oh
got
wow,
some-
okay.
yeah. Anyways, you just have to call the glass house first, prep them. Here's why, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
They'll usually tell you no, you got to get to the right person to get the yes. But anyways, got it cleared. It was
Yeah,
just funny.
but Gage does it right. He's got a jacket, a vest on. He's got, his certification. Like all of that is
So
out
we,
there in the
me with my
open.
sunglasses all covered, a mask on, probably not the same.
I would say
not the
you,
same
yeah,
vibe.
you get different vibes when you look at side by side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, super cool. Well, we are very grateful. You did a great job for us. The photos look amazing. Yeah, we appreciate you, man.
Of course,
So
I appreciate working with you guys. You guys are awesome.
Gage, I want to ask if it's okay that we put a link to your website in the description. That we also, do you have on your website your seller list, or is that available somewhere that we could share?
Yeah, so my seller list comes with all of my email
okay.
confirmations when you book an appointment.
Okay.
So you guys should have a ton of them, a
We
ton of
should
the
have a ton of them.
emails. Yeah, you should have a ton of the emails with it'll say click here for the must move list is what I called it.
Okay.
So those are things I'd appreciate if you print out, give to your clients ahead of time, so
Okay.
they sort of know what to go through, and you're not trying to guess and they're not trying to guess, and it just makes the process easier for everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate you putting that together because that saved us
course.
a lot of time and
Yeah.
getting that out to everybody. That's really good. So tell us, what is your contact information, and we'll put that in the description as well.
Yeah. So my website is gageandco.com. I also have pretty much my entire portfolio on my Instagram, which is just Gage and Company. And then my email is gage@gageandco.com if you have any questions.
Okay, that sounds really good. Thank you so much.
Of course, guys.
Awesome.
How about
Awesome.
the close, the real estate? That's the one I was actually looking for.
Oh, that's the one you were looking for? Okay.
Yes.
So when you have questions about real estate, contact us, Melody and Rod. We want to earn the right to be your real estate resource for life. And if you're looking for the best professional photographer for real estate in Salt Lake County, reach out to Gage and Company.
Thank you,
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks for
thank you, Matt, for being
everything
with us.
that you do for us. We really
course.
appreciate it. You feel like part of our team.
Oh, I feel like part of the team, definitely on this end as well. You guys are a dream to work with. Definitely so much fun.
Thanks. Okay.
Thank you,
We'll
Matt.
talk to
We'll
you
keep them
later.
coming.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
See you.
Uh-huh,
You bet.
bye-bye.
All right. Bye.